All right, so guys, let's go ahead and check your transition practice here. You guys were looking at how you add transition sentence once you know your topic sentence. So we know here that a transition sentence is going to be that transition word from our notes, our keyword from the prompt, and an example from the text. So here we have our topic sentences, and we went and broke those down. So let's look at all three together. Our first topic sentence says, in the novel Whirligig by Paul Fleischman, Brent impacts others by being impulsive when, and then I underline the examples. He makes a snap decision to drink at the party. He blurts out at Brianna, and he quickly places the first whirligig in the tree at the campsite. That's a lot, so I now need to transition those thoughts before I do my introduce quote, and analysis. So to do so, I'm going to break each one of these down into their own sentence and put them in my paragraph in the appropriate place. Transition 1, to begin, Brent impacts others when he decides to drink at the party. I'm going to make sure I have the word from the prompt there, boom, impacts. 2, additionally, so I'm going to be looking at this part right here, Brent impacts others when he blurts out at Brianna during the party. And then transition 3, finally, Brent impacts others when he shoves the first whirligig in a tree out of embarrassment. So here I've covered all three of these. After this would become my introduce quote analysis, right? But that's going to show me now as the reader, here's where we're headed next. Okay, let's take a look at the second one. In the novel Whirligig by Paul Fleischman, Brent is impacted by others when he shares the campsite with a cyclist, when he tours the city with Emil, and when he eats at the Sand Dollar Cafe. I underline these because these are my three main events here. Transition. First, Brent is impacted by the cyclist who shares his campsite with him. This sentence will lead right into that, boom, impact again. Second, or next, Brent is impacted by Emil when they tour the city together. And then third, furthermore, Brent is impacted by the waitress who cares for him at the Sand Dollar Cafe. Again, after that, I would have my intro to quote analysis, but here is how I'm transitioning into that. And finally, we're going to check here and make sure you have what you need. In the novel Whirligig by Paul Fleischman, Brent proves himself a redeemable character when, and then I'm going to underline my examples, he commits to building the whirligigs for Leah, when he lets the children help him build the whirligig, and when he shows care for the artist in Maine. So then I'm going to break these things down. My word is different this time. I'm looking at if he is redeemable. So I have my transition to start off. Brent shows he is redeemable when he agrees to build whirligigs to honor Leah. After that, Brent shows he is redeemable when he teaches the children how to build a whirligig. Accompanying that, Brent shows he is redeemable when he shows cares for the artist in Maine. So again, guys, I need to make sure I'm following this formula up here. My transition word, keyword from the prompt, and example from the text. Happy writing!